Well, welcome to auction number 27. This will be our last one for this year. First item is this matchbox, fire department, fire rescue. And it's a Toyota TAHOE. Very nice and neat. So it's a Chevy TAHOE, not a Toyota TAHOE. Way back from 1997, almost 30 years old. I'd like to start this one on 20 Rand. So the next item is this Lotus 49. It's pretty badly damaged. I think due to all the damage on this, we'll start this one off on 10 Rand. Next item is this Porsche 904 in silver. I won't quite say it's Zamac, it's a bit too shiny to be a Zamac colour. Look, these Porsches are very, very nice. So I'd like to start this one on 25 Rand. The next item is this yellow Rally Mini. They tend to be quite popular at the moment, like I say, with rubber tyres. Definitely play worn. It's got the rubber tyres, even the spare tyres rubber. Needs a bit of a clean up. It is a pullback. It definitely still has some of its pullback motion left. So I'd like to start this one off on 10 Rand. Next item is the Bone Shaker. That's the Bone Shaker Joker car. They're from one of the very old Batman series. As you can see, it's been sitting on a shelf for a while. Comes out of E. I think E would make it 2009. So the 2009 E case, right at the beginning of the year, 7th week. We would like to start this one off on 5 Rand. So next item is this Aston Martin DB5 from GOLDFINGER. Look, I've had so many of these put up already. I think everybody's got one already. So the card isn't in great shape. I think I'd like to start this one on 25 Rand. Next is a very nice little item from Matchbox. With the Hazard Materials team vehicle. It's part of the fire department. It has been unboxed for a while. It's definitely not a newer one. It's still in pretty good nick, as it's good. I'd like to start this one off on 20 Rand. Next we have another one of these little Rally Minis, this time in a nice red. Like I say, the rubber wheels pull back. Pullback still works pretty well. So I like to start this one off on 10 Rand. The next item is this two Nissan SKYLINE. See some creasing there in the J hook. Otherwise it's not too bad shape. But again, yeah, I put up so many of them. This is the very last one. So I'd like to start him off on 15 Rand. Next is one of these popular little items. This is the Mazda MIATA in orange. Very nice and neat, very clean. I'd like to start this one off on 20 Rand. So the next item is one of those, I'm not quite sure what to do with it. It is a matchbox, not play worn. Or is it play worn? Okay. Looks like it has got some play wear to it, sorry. It's heavy. It's definitely a lot of plastic, but there's also a lot of die cast in it. The turret does move around. So it is matchbox. So I'm thinking I'll just put it on at 5 Rand and see what happens. Next is another item I've had lots of. Look, this car is in terrible condition, that J-hook over there. Definitely one to might take out and put up on a rack. It's an iconic South African car, so it is sort of looked for, wanted on the side of the world. I'm just going to put him up for 15 Rand and see what happens. Next is one of these little charity vehicles. Now, if I remember correctly, the proceeds went to like the World Championships or something. I don't think it was Olympics, I think it was for World Championships. This is called the WHEELIE chair. Oops. And it's quite obvious why. You can see it's pretty dirty. It needs to be cleaned up a bit. It's obviously been standing on a shelf before I got it, that is. Let's put him on for 5 Rand. Next is one of these Hot Wheel cars that's designed for the Hot Wheel tracks. It's the ELECTRO silhouette, I think. So a lot of these fantasy cars were built to race the tracks, the Hot Wheels tracks. I think this does move up and down, yeah. Moves up if you want to use it to do a loop, down if you just want it on the straight track. There's a symbol to show it's for tracks. I think again we'll just put him up at 5 Rand. The next item is probably going to be the pick of the bunch for this lot. Nice little Porsche think it's the 928 Rally if I'm not mistaken. It's actually based on a real life rally car, and that's the actual drivers. Try and see their names over there. It looks like there was Andretti. I wonder if he's related to the famous race drivers, the Andretti family. You got your spare, you've got all your tools. Here's the 928 Safari. I'd like to start this one off at 25 Rand. So next is a bunch of items I really don't know what to do with. So you've got that Mercedes, you've got a Jeep, Cherokee, a McDonald's toy, and a Ford Explorer. So I think what I'm going to do is put all four up. So you buy all four for 15 Rand. So the next item is my favorite of this lot, which is the Ford GT. I think it's a Mark IV. Mark IV. I'd like to start this one off on 25 Rand. Next item is one of these fantasy cars. This is the Roger Dodger version 2.0. Roger Dodger casting's been around for a very, very long time as well. I think they're trying to spice it up a bit now with this 2.0 version. I'm not sure what that is on there. I think they're trying to make it a bit marketable by bringing out a new version of it. Well, I'd like to start this one off on 5 Rand. Next item is this little play-worn tractor from Matchbox. Definitely play-worn, but it's pretty old as I'm sure. As I'd say, watch your step. Yeah. I mean, the wheels are still lined up quite nicely, which you don't often see on these. Usually they're buckled and bent. It is 20 years old, so I'm quite surprised it's all buckled up and bent. I'd like to start this one off on 10 Rand. Next item is this M3 wagon, M3 Touring. Car's a bit bent, but otherwise not in too bad shape. As I said, that we see this corner, it's gone soft over there. So this one, I'd like to start him off on 25 Rand. The next item is one of these where Hot Wheels try to show a little bit of humour. And this is the PORSCHE. And a nice neat little car. It probably came out of a 20 pack or something. Looks like it might be based on like a Volvo. at the back. PORSCHE. I'd like to start this one off on R5. Next item, I believe this was Hot Wheels' attempt at tuning cars originally. These big tires here at the back. You can see this is a Corvette. I'd like to start this one off on R5 as well. Another item I suspect should be quite sought after. Go back to Matchbox. Let's have a look. Definitely player worn. And tires and everything is still in good shape. Not buckled and bent, which you usually find. Yes, you've got your spare at the back, which doesn't move, so there's a consider a moving part. And this is the just this open back truck, all the way back to 1981. Oh, it is nice. See, 1:64 scale. I think I'd like to try this one off at R25. Next item is this 1971 Chevy Chevelle. Came out the same year I did. So nice and neat. I think it came straight out of a 20 pack if I'm not mistaken. Or is it possibly a 5 pack? No, it would be a 20 pack. No, I'm lying. It's actually a Matchbox. Wow, I thought it was a Hot Wheels. Okay, that's a bit of a surprise. Matchbox Chevy Chevelle. I think I'd like to start this one off on R15. So next we stick with the Matchbox theme. Yeah, we've got this little mini Matchbox Mini. Probably one I bought in the collection. Now I say that is because of all the dust in it, so it's probably been standing on a shelf. Probably on a shelf for a couple of years. Now start him off on R10. We'll still stick with some Matchbox over here. This is the tipper truck. Let's see. Some plastic, but it's actually a very heavy little vehicle. There's quite a lot of metal to it. The trail tipper. So I'd like to start this one off on R10. Next is another item I'm sure just about everybody's got one now. Is this ALFA GTV 6 3 litre. You can see some damage there. J-hook's got some creases in it. So it's the road version as opposed to the racing version. I think we just put him up for 15 Rand. Another one I seem to have flooded the market with. The J-hook's also bent over there. We've seen this one a couple of times as well. So I think, yeah, I'll start him off on 15 Rand as well. Next is another one, these little rally minis in green. It just seems green seems to be the most prominent colour of them. Probably because it's British racing green and definitely British car. So we've got quite a bit of its pullback motion. So I'd like to start this one off on 10 Rand. Okay, and the last item I'll be putting up until next year at least is this Aston Martin DB4 in Sienna colours. I think they're still very nice cars. I do like them. They're nice and heavy. And I'll put him up at 10 Rand and see what happens.